fighting. But can't we just hold up, maybe stay up, try to make things right? I don't know why I did what I did. Somehow I think that I lost my head. Don't know why. Don't know why. I have realized when I'm with you, I wanna do what it takes to make you see that we'll be alright if you just let me show you that I can do better. And I apologize.
I'd like to put a pavilion out here.
I apologize
Little
for
outdoor kitchen.
everything.
I have a lot of dreams for this, a lot of vision for this property. I do have a issue with the pond. It's got this green scum that seems to be. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So I haven't uploaded a video in a few weeks here, and I apologize for that. Things have been crazy for me. Just been busy, so I'm trying to integrate YouTube back into my daily routine. We'll see how that goes. I figured I'd do a little walk around the property today and kind of show what's going around the homestead. For those of you that are new to the channel, or maybe just clicked on this video, thanks for stopping by. I'll give you a quick little background. So basically what we have here is about a little over 10.5 acres wooded property. I have very little open, about 1.5 acres, maybe a little over 1.5 acres of open grass, but the rest is wooded. And we're doing like a little mini homestead. My wife and I do work a full-time job, and I have a full-time business doing leather work, so a lot of my videos are leather related. But it's just a quick background. Chicken and turkey update. These guys are getting big. I finished a little chicken tractor / coop. This is probably what they'll be spending most of their summer in until I get an actual chicken coop built. What's nice about this is I can move it around the property and keep them from killing the grass in any one spot, and it gives them fresh grass to pick on every day, and then it keeps them protected. I normally don't let them out like this, but their food was all clumped up from the rain last night, so I knocked the food out, and I bet that one's a tom. Look at him. It's all fluffed up, strutting around. I bet you're a boy. Oh yeah. Look at you. You're a boy, aren't you? These turkeys are wild. Look at him. It's all fluffed up. Get big. Get big, son. Get big. Anyways, I lost my train of thought. So yeah, that's the chicken coop. Hopefully I'm gonna build an actual chicken coop. There's lots of things on the go, lots of plans. So we'll start off here. This is our driveway. This is constant maintenance on this driveway. It's all gravel, half mile long. Can't see it, but it goes way down that way, and then it hooks to the right and then goes out to the road. So half mile long of gravel. It has a really good base. The top's a little loose. I would like to see some bigger stone on top, but we'll see. It's going to take a long time to get that done. I did we'll talk about that when we get up there. But my next big purchase of gravel I want to do from basically the end of the wood line to this culvert. there's a culvert right there. I want to do that I used 57 gravel from the local gravel pit to do it by the house, and I like the way it looks, so I want to match that. And then from there out to the road, I'm not as worried about. We'll see what we do with that over time. But this is this biggest piece of grass I got to mow. This is 1 acre. I've measured it, but it is 1 acre of grass, and takes the most to mow. But our property line basically is all of these pine trees, and as time goes on, I'm gonna clean this up all the way. There's a creek just beyond those pine trees. I'm gonna clean that all up to the creek. Now I'm gonna keep that maintained. I don't own to the creek, but I don't think anybody's gonna care. It's a farm field on the other side of the creek. I don't think anyone's gonna say anything, but I think it would look a lot better just cleaned up. And then you guys hear in my videos gunfire sometimes, and that's because we live right next to a gun range. That's the actual buildings for the gun range, and right about there is a pavilion where they sit to shoot, and then they shoot that direction, away from our house, obviously. That was a big thing for us. We wanted to make sure they were shooting in a direction that was safe. He has very large backstops. He's fully insured by the NRA. Very professional, super nice guy. Couldn't ask for a better neighbor. Actually, all of my neighbors are just fantastic. So that would be our west boundary, our south boundary, and then obviously this is our east boundary right here. The property's weird. It's just, I don't know, it's hard to explain. The driveway takes a little hook right here, okay? The property line runs even straight with that driveway there. It comes to a pin right about here, and then it jogs up to the edge of my driveway. So I don't technically own this little piece up to these trees. I do maintain it to keep the weeds back, so it's not interfering with our cars. So then it basically takes a straight line from somewhere there through these woods at an angle like this, an actual north angle. So it's very deceiving on property lines. It's hard to. It's hard to figure out where the property lines are. But as time or distance goes on, I own more and more of this grassy area you see here. So it's pretty cool and weird. Boy, what's up, guys and girls? Where'd the guy go? Which one of you is a boy? Puff up. Puff up. Whoa, what's the matter? What's the matter? What's the matter? That was weird. Just took off. Danger! Danger! I smell danger! Alright. So we haven't done a whole lot up here. There's not been a whole lot to do other than maintain the grass here, and then obviously I dropped in a garden, a 20 by 40, and we'll walk over there in a second. This is where things start to get where we have done things. So last year, you guys know, we got goats to help us maintain the property, and they have been absolutely fantastic. These woods over here, all of this up to where you see brown, was all grown over like this, full of thistle and weeds and poison ivy and just crazy nonsense. So when we got the goats, we started them right here, and we moved their pen all along the side of these woods and then they jog over that way, and we'll go up there in a little bit and we'll talk about that. But they cleared all of this out, and what's beautiful with what they did, you can see I do now mow this section, and as time goes on I'm going to clean this up more and mow back even farther. But they were in this area, and what you don't see come back is the thick thistles and thorns, whatever species they are. Yeah, you have there's definitely some poison ivy coming back. I think you're always going to have that. That looks like a maple sapling there growing. But just lush green undergrowth. You know, this is much healthier than what it was before. This allows the trees to breathe and flourish, and it allows us to enjoy the woods. So, and this is all done by goats in a very short amount of time. You know, to come in here with a weed eater and cut this all down, you're going to spend money on gas, you're going to spend time, and everything that you cut down will just grow right back. The goats actually process the seeds and they kill it on the spot. And then, you know, you're not using any chemicals. It's a natural process. I can't speak about the goats highly enough. It's absolutely, in my mind, for a property like this, it's absolutely necessary. So before we go up that direction, we'll go this way. After the winter, I moved them from up there by the house to down here. Now, this is the third week that I've had them up front here, maybe fourth. I think third though. And I started them right here, and this was all grown. I used to mow to where you see this brown. That's where I mowed to. So we added another, I don't know, 10 feet to the wood line. And my goal is to have a nice transition into the woods, so it just looks cleaner and more like a park. So in 3 weeks, they've gone through here and have just annihilated this just overgrowth and thistles, and I mean, you couldn't even walk through here. You'd get stuck on thistles. A lot of times they'll pull the poison ivy vines right off the tree. I'll show you one up here, I think. This tree fell down last night in the storm. There was a windstorm, and this tree fell down. It was leaning. I saw it leaning, and then I don't know for sure. It's either I can't talk. It's either maple or ash. It's probably ash. Maybe somebody watching this will chime in what that is, maple or ash. Looks like ash to me. I'll know when I cut it and split it. But it did come down from back there. It's a pretty long tree. It goes back a while. It's good that it came down on its own. I hate cutting down big dead trees like this. They're dangerous, and I'm not that experienced with a chainsaw to take those kind of risks. The only downside is it bent over this beautiful shagbark hickory that was young and would have grown up to be a nice marketable piece of wood at some point if I choose to do so. But I hate cutting down good trees. The only downside to having goats in your woods is they will destroy trees if they get bored. As long as you keep them munching, they don't seem to bother the trees, but as soon as they're done with an area, they're gonna go after your trees. And that was an ironwood tree, and the bark peels off of it like paper. Or yeah, I guess that's about as good as description in it. Obviously that tree's dead now, so I'll have to cut that one down. So I'll cut it down. There's another hickory bent over right there that I got to get to. It's still alive, believe it or not. but it's bent over and done for. I'll get that out of there. And then all this debris was in here. They uncovered all this debris. So I'll come back here and get this debris cleaned up, and cut down these little saplings. Here's a poison ivy vine they pulled right off the tree. It's good to get this poison ivy out of there. So I'll carefully try to extract that. I am allergic to poison ivy. So yeah, I'll come in here, I'll clean all this up, I'll trim the branches back so I can mow right to the wood line. And this will be nice. So here's the section they're in now, and this one was very thick. What's up, Sniffy? What's up? They unearthed. I didn't even know that stump was there. Couldn't see it. This was all very thick brush and briar. They unearthed that. What are you doing back there, Harry? They like to hang out in the woods. They really seem to enjoy the woods. And at night when I come home from work, they're in the high grass. They're laying down in the high grass. So if that's what they want to do, whatever. I keep them in this Premier One shocker net fence system. This thing's really nice. What's great about it is I can move it somewhat. It's a little cumbersome, but one person can move it. I have two sections of it. They're about 100 foot a section, so I got about 200 lineal feet I can make, and it makes a decent sized pen. And you can customize the shape and area that you want to target. And then it's solar powered. I don't know if you can hear it clicking now, but it's solar powered, so I don't have to plug this in. If it were to die, I can plug it in and charge the battery. But I haven't had to do that too many times. This is a new goat pen I built. This is just a simple couple cow panels with a frame. It makes a nice shelter for them. I put a tarp over it, gets them out of the rain. They seem to enjoy it, and it's easy for me to move. I can just drag it across the ground and move it wherever I want. I do plan on building a barn for these boys for the winter that I'm probably going to put over in this area here, and then they'll have a nice dry place in the winter time. I feed them hay in the winter, and then they'll keep them warm, and then I can use the shocker net fence to make a little pasture for them. So this is pretty thick. They'll probably spend 2 weeks in this section. They've been here about a week now, and they're about halfway through it, but this is still pretty thick. So I can't wait to see what's in this, because I don't understand that the wood line actually goes behind this here, and I don't understand why they didn't mow up to the wood line. So I'm opening up some more ground. If there's not trees there, there's no point in not mowing it, in my mind. Keep it mowed down, keep it cleaned up, and this is usable ground. Yeah, and I don't want to cut too many trees down. I want to cut down what's dead and what's mature and invasive, and then let the rest of the forest flourish. So when they're done in there, I'll bring them back through around here, and then this again is our west boundary, and up in that direction is our west pond. We'll probably walk up there later, but eventually I'll have a trail going through here to the pond. We'll get the goats to clear that, but they got all this to clear, and then I'll just keep moving them back through the woods. It is a possibility I am going to fence off this entire front woods and just let them roam. We'll see. It's going to be a long video. Hope you guys don't mind. All right, so here's our pathetic garden. It's a 20 by 40. Time and weather, I was unable to get a garden planted early. So I just, I got to the greenhouses late. The choices were minimal and time constricting. I got what I got. So I did plant a couple pumpkins and melons. The pumpkins are for my daughter, just for fun. The melons, cantaloupe, hopefully they'll grow, we'll eat them. And then mostly cucumber. I thought maybe this year I would try cucumber, and if we got enough, we would try making pickles. So there's mostly cucumber in here. And then a few tomato plants. I've learned not to go overboard with tomatoes because I'm the only one that eats them. And then we don't, obviously at this time, we don't can tomatoes or make sauce. Something in the future. But for now, I just have a few tomato plants, a couple cherry tomatoes, and then I think they're called Better Boys. You know, and the tomato plants look great. I think it's hard to mess up a tomato plant. Some of the cucumber plants don't look so hot. Probably most of them will die. That was kind of my fault. Getting them home, they kind of got screwed up on the way home. Long story short. So this is still all open. I might still go get some peppers. I don't know. The greenhouse, when I bought this stuff, didn't have any peppers that I wanted. And I had thought about doing a few rows of corn. This would be the north side of the garden, so it's gonna be south facing, I guess. So you keep your tall stuff up here, obviously, so it doesn't shade the shorter stuff. So I think it might be too late for sweet corn. It might be a project for next year. Why is this so far back in my field? Well, good question. From about this definition in the field forward is my leach field for my septic tank, which is weird to me because the house is way up in that direction. So we're pumping the, I guess it'd be gray water, all the way from the house down here. So somewhere in this area, all the way over to roughly where that, you can't see that impression there is, up to there is leach field. So I can't do anything with that section of property other than what I'm doing right now, letting the chickens and turkeys graze. So I decided to go 10 feet off of the end of it and start my garden. I'm 10 feet away from it. There's no way anything from the leach field is going to come this way. I did the research, I'm fine. So I have this set up 20 by 40 to where I can go another 20 feet and give me a 40 by 40, and then I could go probably another 10, 15, maybe even 20 feet that direction. I could get a huge garden in this area and still have room for a barn for the animals, and then eventually I'd like to build a building in this area here on the across from the building that's on the other property. So a shop, a 40 by 60 or something in that area. And then I'll have to figure out where I'm going to bring a driveway in. Probably be it might be up this section of woods and then bring it over, because this does get wet down here if it's heavy rain. The neighbor said he's only seen it twice in like 10 years, but still potential. And then the nice thing about that is the electric comes in the property over in that corner, so I can have a separate service put in to have electric up here. I don't know, that's a long way down the road. There's a lot of things that have to fall into place for that to happen, and a lot of other projects that have to get done before that can happen. It's going to take money and time, and I don't have much of either. So it's a little bit of a dream, I guess. So I guess we'll walk up towards the house, and I'll show you what I've done around there. Lots of things happening up there. Chickens and turkeys are so happy. Alright, be back in a minute. Alright, this is the front section of woods. It seems to me that this section of woods is the most healthiest on the property. The most mature trees. Well, I don't say the most, but it just seems like it's healthier. Our woods are comprised of mostly maple, hickory, and beech, with a few oaks. Some oaks sprinkled in. I mean, there's elm, but it's predominantly maple, hickory, and beech. Ash would have been predominant in the day, but all our ash trees are dead. Most of them are gone. But the goats cleaned all this up, all the way up to the corner, and then we'll go across the front, and it all looked like this. So you got, super thick thistles and thorns and just complete nonsense. Just can't see anything. This is all nice and clean. Some poison ivy on this tree I gotta chop off, get that stuff out of here. Oh look, there's Tiffany. There's Mrs. K. Alright, so we ran the goats across the front of here. Okay, so this is where they stopped the moving. Once I moved them from here to here, they stayed here all winter, and I fed them hay in this whole section. Now you see they ripped the bark off that beech tree there, so I'll have to cut it down. But completely cleared it out. This was just absolutely dirt. Now we got grasses growing back. Sorry about that, guys. I had to take a mosquito break. So anyways, they cleared all this out. So now I actually need to come back in here. There's a pile of debris that I got to finish cleaning up. There was metal in there. I got all the metal out, took it to the scrapyard. Now it's just wood. So I got to clean that pile of debris up. And then that's the last pile of debris on the property. There were a few piles of debris we unleashed. So once I do that, I'm going to smooth all this out and just plant some grass seed, and this will be just mowable area. I'm going to get all this cleaned up in here and smooth that all out, and I'm actually going to mow around those trees. Cut this corner off somewhere and mow around those trees. I think it does stay kind of wet in this area, so I might not be able to. We'll see. That's the plan. So then we come down to the west pond. This is a pretty well established pond. It's got lots of fish, lots of big fish, crappie, bluegill. I don't know if there's any bass or anything. I haven't caught any yet, but I haven't spent a lot of time fishing either. My daughter and I just come out here and mess around. I show this in my videos a lot. It's a very pretty pond. This all needs trimmed back. I'm working on that. I did go back through here. There's that's a mound of dirt, but between that and the pond there's flat ground, It's not quite mowable. I need to go in there and clean the ground up so that it's smooth and mowable, but I did go back and weed eat it all the way around this side. You can see where I kind of weed eated. Needs done again, but the pond doesn't really have good banks, so the water does come over. As summer comes into play here, this will dry up. I'll be able to get in here and smooth this out and get it mowable. It would be nice to have it all mowable up to the wood line. So then the first of the spring, we moved the goats over here. And here's our old goat hutch. I haven't taken it down yet. It's in the works. I gotta take it down. But they cleaned all this up all the way to the shop. Just did a beautiful job. When we moved in, all these trees were overgrown, hanging over the deck. So I cut those branches back and cut them up so that I can mow to them. And now that this is all cleaned out, I gotta come back through here, clean this up, and then I'll probably let this go back to forest. Well, we'll see. I do want some of this. I'll probably plant grass in this area because I want the view of the pond, and I'll take out a few more of these trees, thin this up a little bit. Yeah, you can see the goats got a hold of this beech tree, and they got a hold of that maple over there. I'm really sad about. There's a big maple. I think it'll survive. I don't know. Time will tell. If it kills it, I'll probably have to have a tree company come in and drop that one. It's too close to the house for me. I'm not comfortable with it. So this beech, I'm going to let it go, see what happens. Beeches are pretty tough. They're an invasive species, really. So if I had to cut it down, it wouldn't be the end of the world for me. We'll see. So once you get back in there, that's the jungle. That's the North Woods, and it's really overgrown, really thick, and there's a ton of down trees back there. Basically, I'm standing. If you walked in a straight line that way, the back of our property is in that direction. So it's weird how the house sits crooked to the property. Yada yada yada. So you guys have seen the shop plenty of times, plenty of videos with me in the shop. I gotta do some work on the shop. It still needs siding. I do have all this metal siding that came off of the roof of the house at one point. I'm going to use that for siding on the house, and I do have the materials to get that going. I just need to find the time to start on it. Man, these mosquitoes are bad. All right, so walk over here. I got piles of wood everywhere I need to get cleaned up. Now, this is the side of the house, kind of where I keep some of our junk. Keep the tractor. This area here is what I call the landing pad. It's where I'll be processing firewood and stuff like that. This is a foundation for an outdoor wood burner. All the plumbing's there, everything's ready to go, electric, all that stuff. I just need to buy an outdoor wood burner, which is in the plans. And then I'll have a wood shed roughly here, so I can have a dry supply of wood at all times. And then I don't know where I'm gonna stack firewood yet. I do think I'm gonna make a stack right behind this propane tank. Nothing's really growing in there, and it stays pretty dry. So I think I'm gonna get this stuff out of here and stacked up over here, so I can work on this area when I put some gravel down, make it a little cleaner, so I can have a nice work area. We did fill this in with 304 underneath the mower there and stuff. This was all just dirt, and it was filling up with water. So we got 304 to shed the water and make a nice dry place to stand. This is a landscape feature I don't like. I do plan on getting rid of this. It's where I have my fire pit at the moment. Nice rock fireplace. I built that. They had just a tiny one here. I made it bigger. You gotta have a big fire pit. I get a couple chairs, a little table set up. The fire pit we will be moving over there, and we'll take you over there in a minute. But this, I want to get rid of all of this. It's I don't like how it looks. It's weird that it's just in front of the house here. And this is all wood chips. That's not ideal for a fire pit. So I'm eventually rip this out, and this will become a parking lot. We'll just do a gravel parking area here, and it'll add to our existing, which is pretty good size. We have a decent size parking area. We put 25 tons of 57 down last year. It's holding up pretty good. I move it around every now and then with the tractor, keep it smooth. Sometimes I roll it with the roller. It's doing all right. So, but it would be nice to have this to be all parking, and we'll have, you know, room to turn around, room for guests. Obviously, we have a couple vehicles, couple trailers. Boy, this is gonna be a long video. There's my Ford 8N. So, with the risk of getting annihilated by mosquitoes, we will walk over here. The very beginning, when we bought this place, I did do some videos over here. Looks nothing like when we bought it. Right where I'm standing was a mound of dirt, probably, I don't know, 20 feet high all the way to the pond. I mean, it was just a mountain of dirt. So we had some work done. Opened this all up, got rid of that dirt, cleaned up the banks of the pond a little bit. But there's still some more work to be done here. I hate to tear this up because the grass is growing and it's looking good, and I'm excited to have this space, but it's hard to mow because it's very bumpy. It just needs smoothed out. So I'm just gonna rip it out, rip it up, smooth it all out, and replant it. It was never smoothed out after it was moved, just because it got too late in the year. So I'm gonna finish the job and do it right, and then I'll have a nice grassy area by my pond. So the plan is to move that fire pit over here somewhere. I'm not sure where yet. And then sometime down the road, I'd like to put a pavilion out here with a little outdoor kitchen. I have a lot of dreams for this, a lot of vision for this property. I do have a issue with the pond. It's got this green scum that seems to be absolutely covering the pond. Now yesterday, this whole pond was completely a solid green. It rained last night, and it must have turned it, which is good. I did treat this pond. That's why it's that tealish blue color with an environmentally safe bacteria / dye that's supposed to get rid of this green slime or algae or whatever it is. So that's just a wait and see kind of thing. This is the best it's looked in weeks. I don't know if the rain must have just turned it. So maybe it'll stay like this. I don't know. Clean up a little bit. But there's a lot of work over here to do, and I don't know. The equipment I have is not going to do it. It could do some of it, but it's not going to do all of it. I need some better equipment. But I have a plan for that. And I'm not going to say what it is. Is it a snapping turtle? what the heck that is. You see that? Maybe it's just a stump. Never seen it before though. Wish I had a long stick. I don't know what that is. I wonder if it's a branch. Might be the branch floated up. Need to get a grapple and get this branch out of here. It does have a little island in the center. Whatever. Fish habitat, right? Alright, so there's more of the jungle. Lots to do back there. The only thing I plan on doing this year with the woods back there is possibly establishing a main trail. I need to bust through here somewhere and get a trail established to the back side of the property so that I have a way to get in there to get firewood this winter. So that's the only plan I have for back there. Everything you guys have seen up to this point is about 1/3, 1/3ish. It's probably a halfway point is just beyond those trees there. So there's as much as what we've seen back there to maintain. So I got to come in here and get this all smoothed out and graded. This work here was done previously to us buying it. It's just full of ruts. I want to smooth it all out. I did put in a little shooting range for myself. A little private shooting range. Got a nice little backstop back there and a couple targets set up. I do need to fix that backstop a little. Like I said, I don't have the equipment to do that, but I have a plan. So when that comes together, I'll talk about that more, and I'll be able to do more things here. This is a big old tree, but it's dead. It's so sad. Like, it had 3 sections there. That center section's gone. Look at the stump. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this tree. It's basically dead. Oh, it sucks. I wish that tree wasn't dead. I think it's a maple too. I can't really see those. I can't see the leaves. Can't really make them out. It's a shame. Well, I got random stacks of firewood everywhere. This was a tree that had fallen down in a storm. I cut up and just stacked here until I can come get it. Back there in the woods, there's stacks of firewood. You guys saw me cut up this winter. I have to get to that. Lots to do. Lots to do back in here. But one piece at a time. It's beautiful out here today. Nice breeze. This was just a little brush pile that burned up. I actually kind of like the fire pit back here. I don't know. I think what I'll do is get this whole area cleaned up all around this pond. Get some good grass growing in here. Get it nice and mowable and pretty, and then we'll make a final decision on fire pit placement and potential pavilion. The nice thing is, if I put a pavilion up there, it's about 100 yards from where I want to put the pavilion to where my targets are. So I could have a cover shelter to stand under and shoot. And then from up there to way back in these woods over here, there's a downed tree with a huge root ball that would make a nice backstop. And there's nothing behind us, nothing for miles. So that would make a nice 175 yard range from standing up there. Again, which would be nice to have the cover of a pavilion. So, I don't know. There's no reason why we couldn't have several fire pits. I could always drop in a fire pit back here and have a nice place. Then that would be nice in the wintertime. Shooting, you could stand next to the fire and warm up if you choose to shoot that long. I usually just come out here and unload a couple mags and go on with my day. I usually don't make a big production out of it, just practice. It's nice shooting steel. Alright, so hopefully it gives you like a pretty decent overview of the property here. There's so many frogs in this pond. At nighttime it's awesome because you have two ponds, and if you're up on the house, it's like having frogs in stereo. I think there's fish that like swim up in this little shallow. I don't know. But anyways, it's like having frogs in stereo because they go back and forth. Burp, burp. It's crazy. But I hope you guys, hope that's a good overview of what we have going on, the projects we have going on. I certainly have a lot going on at once. I'm actually working on the deck as well. I'd like to get that finished up soon. Just a bunch of boards needed replaced. But there's a lot to do landscape wise. I want this to just look clean and like a park when you come back here. That's my end goal. It's a nice little slice of heaven, really. But it'll take some time. I wonder what we got digging in here. Oh no, look at that. You know what those are? Turtle eggs. Something got in here and tore them up. Man. We saw some snapping turtles breeding, and I think they're snappers. I was hoping that we would get to see the babies at some point, but it's not looking like that now. You know, Mother Nature, man. Can't control it. It's a shame. Keep seeing stuff pop up on the water. I don't know if those are fish or if they're frogs. I think they're frogs. Gotta be frogs. I don't know if there's any fish in this pond. I've never caught any. Well, I guess I have seen a few little ones. Oh, is that a little baby turtle? I think it's just a stick. Alright, I wrap this video up, guys. It's going to turn into a major long video. So anyways, I got stuff going on. I am working on a large wholesale order at the moment. I'll probably shoot some shot video here next day or two, and then I have a surprise coming. I've hinted at it a few times, but I'm not going to say anything else about it until it happens. Help is on the way. Alright guys, thanks for watching my videos. If you made it this far, leave a comment below with your guess of what my surprise might be. And don't forget to click that like button and hit subscribe. Share it with your friends. I appreciate all your guys' support. Looking forward to reading all the comments on this video. So drop them in below.